match, 2 matches, 3 matches, 4 matches. I will go and win this Garden State Pro Championship, and then I'll defend it against Michael Oku and win his goddamn belt too. One more thing before I go. I think you guys are really gonna like this one. West Coast is the best coast.
But when it comes to Titus Alexander, ain't no time for games, ain't no time for playing. I saw what he did to win the day. That shit ain't gonna fly with the bounty hunter. So round 2, Titus, you better be ready to pay up, playboy.
Jordan just said we are now going to see the next step in the Garden State Openweight Championship Tournament, which, to be clear, will conclude tonight. We will know who the first champion is at the end of this event.
And making his way to the ring is one tough customer. We saw him defeat Effie at Welcome to Eden to advance to make his way here to the semifinal round of the Openweight Championship Tournament. But for the bounty hunter, he said, there's nothing sentimental about this. This is just another opportunity. This is just another payout. But damn, if it isn't a big potential payout waiting at the end of that Kingdom Come.
Well, and Bryan Keith can see the future payouts, the money that's involved in becoming a champion, and some guaranteed matches in your future. But as you said, Bryan Keith is also a realist. You know, this tournament isn't over for him yet. He's still got more matches to win if he's going to become champion, and I'm sure that that is what he is focused on right now. Someone who has really been gaining steam throughout the United States. You're going to see him popping up everywhere, especially if he becomes a champion tonight.
Yeah, certainly has been more of an underground sensation, but not to be underground for much longer. This is just another potential accolade for him to add. You know, current reigning freelance champ, new Texas pro champ for over 400 days, but he has quite a challenge in some of the potential tactics of this incredible meteoric star on the rise, the future franchise Titus Alexander, who has quickly made no friends here at Garden State Pro.
Titus, back on out here. You see him representing the Ugly Dojo, the second generation star, his father, Big Ugly, oftentimes at his matches out on the West Coast. And I don't know if he 100% approves of his son's attitude, but he definitely approves. Oh, that's rude, child. He definitely approves of the streak that Titus has been on recently. Just a week ago, I called the match where he won the West Coast Cup, cementing his #1 contendership in West Coast Pro, and that is just one recent accolade. He's been Hey! What? This is what I'm talking about. Again, Titus Alexander is racking up the airline miles. He is all over the place. He's racking up the wins.
But he
doesn't need to do this.
So unnecessary, and again, we're seeing action spilling outside the ring.
Well, that's just another reason to get yourself to a Garden State Pro Wrestling show. It is a fully immersive experience. You don't know where the fighters are going to go. Right now, they are roaming out on the ringside area, and it looks to me, Alyssa, that Titus, he zeroed in on the leg of Bryan Keith. He chop blocked him from behind and then smacked him with that chair. And Keith, I don't even think he can stand.
Well, I don't even know if this match has officially begun yet. We have not heard the sound of the bell.
I don't think so.
Which is, of course, why Titus Alexander was able to pull the crap that he pulled. But Bryan Keith knows too much is on the line. This potential opportunity, whoa, barreling in, gets that boot up clipping the jaw of Titus Alexander. Alexander, who still has one hell of a triple threat match ahead of him tonight. If he's successful against Keith, he'll have 3 matches, but I don't think Bryan Keith is going to let that happen.
Yeah, Titus got an early jump on Bryan Keith, but he might be regretting that now because I think it just angered the bounty hunter. Series of big exploders, and now Keith looking to make this an early night for Titus to move on to his next match.
Oh, Bryan Keith has just been stacking up accolade after accolade and knows that there's so much to prove. There's potential big money, but swept up. Shoulders are down. Oh,
that was really close. And, you know, Alyssa, you pointed out that Titus does have, regardless of the outcome of this tournament match, Titus has there's a cover by Alexander. Titus has a huge, internationally flavored triple threat match coming up very, very shortly, like as in within an hour or so.
Yeah.
So it's in his best interest to end this one quickly.
I mean, we saw some of the, my
no,
goodness. You can see that Bryan Keith still really favoring that leg that was attacked by Titus Alexander, but didn't stop him from imparting a vicious chop. But now Titus Alexander going right back and praying on the lower body, but now shifting his focus. Oh, no. Wrapping that leg around the post. Oh! Extra damage to the knee.
And you can see that bandage on the eyebrow of Titus. Just a week ago, his face was split open. And I have to wonder if he's conscious of that, if he's worried about it opening up again.
I mean, for someone that has called himself the king of the West Coast, I think he feels like he's almost invulnerable.
Alexander again to the knee, going for another cover.
Alexander trying to impart as much damage as possible. Another cover from Alexander, the future franchise, trying to cement his legacy by becoming openweight champion.
Oh.
Sheesh. I do not envy referee Nick Chind having to be in charge of the action here. Ooh, vicious open palm strike right across the chest, and now trying to stomp a hole into the bounty hunter.
Alexander again back to the leg of Bryan Keith.
But Keith's such a fighter. Just taking all of that damage.
Up on the shoulders. Oh, wait. Bryan Keith holding onto the ropes.
Very wisely using the ropes to either create a break or just slow down Titus Alexander.
Onto the knee. And that's bad news for Titus Alexander, but it might also be bad news for Bryan Keith. You can see him clutching his knee, and you know, sometimes so much, Alyssa, of wrestling is you're going on instinct, and you know, you don't really think, okay, this is gonna damage me. You're just worried about hurting your opponent. Keith now shaking out the leg.
Rolls back on his feet. Oh,
went for the cutter.
Able to catch Titus in his tracks. Could he be looking for the Emerald Tiger driver? No, but sweeping back. Able to dodge the blow.
Quick roll up.
Ooh, 2 count only.
Alexander handspring, went for the cutter and got caught in a cutter of his own, too.
Oh, almost on a muscle spasm from Titus Alexander kicking out of that cover. Look at that replay.
Watch this. Alexander with the handspring, reaching back and just ate that cutter by Bryan Keith.
Keith earns those paydays. He did the research. He saw what Titus Alexander did in his match against Tankman. He said, that is not going to fly. Pay up, Playboy. And now locking in once more, looking for that Emerald Tiger driver.
And if Bryan Keith can hit that driver, it is over. And Titus Alexander knows it. That's the urgency here.
Oh, but grab and look at the tights.
Oh!
Trying to actually use the pants of Bryan Keith to get that extra leverage. Clocked Keith once more. Titus Alexander trying to become the king of the East Coast as well as the West in his own mind. Big shot to the back of the skull for the bounty hunter.
Alexander says it's over. Oh! Went for that cutter again, and Bryan Keith with an answer in the shape of a knee.
Looking for that Emerald Tiger driver. Come on, once more. There it is, sits out with it. The cover to advance.
Here is your winner, advancing to the finals of the Garden State Openweight Championship Tournament, the Bounty Hunter, Bryan Keith.
Alyssa, the Bounty Hunter advances. Watch this, though.
You could see that injured knee almost buckling beneath Bryan Keith.
Usually Bryan Keith is able to pop off that driver like it's nothing. It is his signature maneuver. Today, not so much. I just don't know what sort of condition he's going to be in going into the finals of this tournament.
And he's going to have steep competition, whether it is Alan Angels or Robert Martyr that is successful in their semifinal match. Bounty Hunter Bryan Keith at least getting himself a little bit of time, maybe put some ice on that knee. And we're going to see how things are going to shake out in the finals later.